Hey there, have you ever taken that eye test? You know the one where you stare into a big bowl and click a button every time you see a little flash of light? Well, that test has a name. It's called perimetry. And what it does is pretty amazing. It literally maps the entire invisible world of your vision. But let's start with a little experiment. Right now, without moving your head or your eyes, just notice what you can see way off to the sides. That blurry, kind of vague world at the edges? That's your peripheral vision, and it's just as important as what's right in front of you. Today, we're going to find out exactly why. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about what we're actually mapping. Then, we'll get into the silent threats this test can find. After that, we'll go inside the machine and see what the experience is really like, learn how to read the results, and finally, look at what it all means for a healthier future. All right, let's jump right in. Before we can understand the test, we have to get our heads around this one key idea, the visual field. Think about your vision like it's the viewfinder on a camera. You've got the spot in the middle that's perfectly sharp and in focus, right? But you've also got the whole rest of the scene in the frame. Your visual field is that entire picture, everything you can take in at a single glance. It's your own personal window on the world. Okay, so if your visual field is the landscape, then perimetry, well, that's the map maker. It's the test that's designed to draw a super detailed map of that landscape, checking every little spot to see how sensitive your vision is. It's not just about if you see something, but how well you see it across that whole area. But why on earth do we need a map of our vision? Well, this is where it gets really, really important. The true power of this test is in what it can find hiding at the very edges of our sight. I mean, that's a pretty scary thought, isn't it? But it's a very real possibility. Our brains are amazing at filling in the gaps and compensating for slow changes, especially in our peripheral vision. You could be developing some serious blind spots and not even have a clue. And this is what we're looking for. Perimetry is one of the best tools we have for catching really serious conditions super early. We're talking about things like glaucoma, which is famous for sneakily damaging your peripheral vision first, but also things like optic nerve damage, retinal diseases, or even problems in the brain, like tumors or the effects of a stroke. And here's the bottom line. Catching these things early is everything. By mapping out the edges of your vision, your doctor can spot these problems long before they start to affect your sharp, central vision, the vision you use for reading and driving. And finding them early means treatment can start early, which can literally save your sight. So now that we get just how crucial this is, let's demystify the test itself. I know it can seem a little weird or intimidating if you've never done it, but the reality is actually pretty simple. Let's just get this out of the way. There are no puffs of air, no eye drops, nothing touches your eye at all. It's completely painless and non-invasive. Honestly, it's basically just a high-tech game of I Spy. And this is all you have to do. You just get comfortable, rest your chin and forehead, and stare at a little light in the middle of this big dome. You hold a clicker, and the machine starts flashing tiny lights in different spots. Your only job? Just keep looking straight ahead and click that button every time you see a flash. That's literally it. Pretty straightforward, right? So you've clicked your way through the test. What happens with all that information? Well, this is where the magic happens. All those clicks get turned into that visual field map we've been talking about. Let's see what that map actually shows. So every single click you made, and just as importantly, every flash you missed, gets plotted onto this chart. It's not a simple pass or fail. Think of it more like a weather map for your eyesight. The bright spots are where your vision is strong and sensitive, and the darker patches show areas where your vision is a little weaker or maybe even missing altogether. You can really see the difference here. On the left, you've got a healthy visual field. It's mostly bright and clear. But look at the map on the right. See those dark areas? Those are called scotomas, which is just the clinical name for a blind spot. Finding these spots and seeing their exact shape and location gives your doctor a ton of clues about what might be going on. And all of this brings us to the most important part of the story. We've gone from this abstract idea of a visual field to a concrete, personalized map. So what's the real power in knowing all this? You know, this quote really nails it. Being able to see isn't just about being able to read the smallest letters on an eye chart. True vision is about having that full, complete awareness of the entire world around you. And perimetry is the tool that's built to protect that whole picture. At the end of the day, that's what this is all about, empowerment. This test gives you and your doctor information you just can't get any other way. It takes something that was invisible and makes it visible. And having that knowledge is the first, most crucial step toward protecting your sight for the long run. So the next time you think about your eyesight, don't just focus on, well, what's in focus. Think about that whole panorama. Because hidden in that vast world on the edges, your eyes might be trying to tell you a story. And perimetry is how we learn to listen. Thanks so much for joining me.